Check you can hear me. Hi everyone. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good week and I hope you're ready to enjoy some crafting. I am going to be playing with one of my favourite bundles out of the new annual catalogue, the Extraordinary Flora stamps, dies and washi tape. And I have lots of ideas. I can't wait to share them with you and I can't wait to get your ideas as well. So we're going to have good fun tonight. Before I do, I just want to remind everybody watching, we've only got a couple more days left on the starter kit promotion. So if you've got a massive wish list and you want to get stuff cheaper, now is your best time to take advantage of that offer. £170 worth of goodies, but you'll only spend 99 and you'll get 20% discount until the end of October, which includes the new autumn winter catalogue, which is all the Christmas stuff. If you want more information, get in touch and I'll happily answer all your questions. Right, enough of that. Let's get down to the good stuff. So let me switch over. Let me pop the lights on. Hopefully that is bright enough. If it's not, then we can adjust, but I've been working on how to get this working properly and I think we've got it. I also think I'll be able to see any chats, although I'm just double checking that. If you're there, say hi. That's okay if you're not there. If you're not there, say hi. It's fine. I am going to crack on and craft anyway, because that's what I came here to do, and that is what I'm going to do. So this is the Extraordinary Flora stamp set. The picture on the front is at 80% because it is quite a large stamp. And you've got these beautiful flowers, you've got some sentiments here, and then just little bits for texture and interest. You've got the die, which matches the stamp. And then, of course, you've got the washi tape, which is the star of the show. Hey, Julie, I can see you chatting from Facebook. Fabulous. We are on to a winner. I can see the chat. Right. What I'm going to do is I have a few ideas for cards that I'm going to make, but the first thing I want to do is stick this washi tape onto some cardstock and cut it out to get my flowers. Now, I have this piece of card that I had from a project I was doing earlier on in the week, which just by coincidence, pure coincidence, happens to be the right width. So I'm going to see how this works. This is my first time doing this. So it's going to be an experiment for all of us. But let's push that down. Do you know what would be useful here? My bone folder. Let's use a bone folder to try and get this to go down smoothly, because I want it without any wrinkles. If Jen was here, she'd be like, what's wrong with wrinkles? Because that's the name of a very good friend of hers. So let's pull that out and stick it down. Yeah, that works well. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to peel that back up. Well, no. In for penny, in for pound. Let's go all the way. I think actually it's better doing it with fingers rather than with my bone folder, because I have got a couple of wrinkly bits there. So there you go. First tip, use your fingers rather than a bone folder. But remember, the washi tape is quite forgiving. So I had quite a big air bubble at the end there, but I could lift that off. Tearing it. Look at me, rebel. Let's give this a go. So I've got my die, which I'm going to line up on my washi tape. Let's bring over my custom emboss, which we're just going to pop on. Now, some people hold their dies in place with, ironically, washi tape. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to push it through and see what happens. I may regret this, and the next one I do might have washi tape. But let's give it a try for just now and see how we go. Doing some adjustments there. Let's do it. I have an entire roll of this washi tape, so I'm also gonna, no, let's just do a single pass for the first time. Let's see how this works. It is the washi on the cardstock, so I might have to pass it through twice. Nope. You can see all of those pieces have completely cut out, which is fab. Pull that whole thing off. Pop out all of these pieces. You know what you need here? A pokey tool. That's what I'm going to use. She says, looking for her pokey tool. I tidied up. Does anybody ever find that when you tidy up, you then can't find anything again? There it is. And I know I posted the other day that tidying up wasn't something I was going to do, but I've kind of got used to having a lovely craft room that's all neat and tidy and beautiful. So let's pop that down there for just now. Look at these. These are all the pieces cut out from the die. Really pretty. And you get loads of them. So you've got like 2 big flowers, 2 smaller flowers with sprigs, 2 flowers on their own, 2 smaller flowers on their own. You got like these yellowy flowers. You've got yellowy sprigs, green sprigs, little buds. They are fab. Lots to do with these. Now, one of the things I prepared in advance, because, you know, I'm good to you, is the colours on this washi tape. So I've done the first one on, I'm going to cut the second lot first, and then I will show you the colours. But what I wanted to do for the second lot is I'm going to cut these out on window sheet. So Stampin' Up, as you may be aware, sells 12 by 12 sheets of acetate, also known as window sheet. Let's pop that down to one side. And I have a piece here, which I'm hoping it is the right width. So let's do, now you see, I feel like I've already done the pinks already. Let's just stick this down and see how we go, because I want to get these beautiful blues and purples as well. Getting it down at the start without a wrinkle will make it easier. And yeah, that seems to be the best way to do it. Get it down right to begin with, and then just pull and smooth. It's actually very easy. Done it at a slight diagonal, but that's fine. It's just washi tape. It will bend to my will. I want to get these beautiful blues. There we go. I'm running out of window sheet at the end. You see, I've got those bits at the bottom there. So let's... should have been better with my start and finish bits, but lessons learned. This is the first time using this. So let's do it on window sheet and see if that makes a difference to doing it on basic white cardstock. And I want to do the purpley ones this time. I'll line up my die. just to suit. There we go. Ooh, can you hear that? That is very crackly. Let's just run it through the once and see if it's cut or if window sheet needs a second pass. No, it has worked. You need to pop them out slightly, but it has worked. And you get a slightly different look to them. We'll compare them in a second. I just want to put the start of the die through as well so that I get all of the pieces. Let's move them out of the way. I'm reminded, did anybody have, they were like scraps that you used to get, like old scrapbooks where you had like little angels and girls smiling, and you got lots of florally bits and leafy bits and stuff like that. That's what it reminds me of. I used to have them and play with them round at my grand's house many moons ago. Makes a terrible noise. Hey Karen, glad you're here. Saying hi to everybody on YouTube as well. If you are watching on YouTube, there's a good chance I would see your comments. Wasn't working last week, but I think it's working this week. So we'll wait and see if anybody from YouTube says hello. But I did work to make sure I got the comments thing working properly. So, right, let's put this down to one side. I'm not going to abandon it completely though, because I've got more plans for it. So there we go. Let's move all of these over then. And we've got the ones on the left-hand side, which are the ones in the pinks. These were done on basic white cardstock. Get loads, don't you? And then the ones on the right-hand side, so these were the ones that were done on the window sheet. And these are kind of like the blues and lilacs. Still some yellows as well. That sprig, I think. Oh, actually, this is a really good way to see it. This is a sprig. Let's put it on a piece of white so you can see. Is there much of a difference? I don't think there is. This is the one that's on cardstock, and this is the one that's on window sheet. The window sheet is maybe slightly paler. Hey, Paulette from Canada. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Linda, glad you're here too. But yes, I love this new washi tape. It is just beautiful. We're going to have some fun with it tonight. So these are the two colorways that it comes in. So let me show you what the colors are in this gorgeous washi tape. So you have got, let me spread that out so you can see. The colors in the washi tape are Darling Duckling, Old Olive, Shaded Spruce, Flirty Flamingo, Strawberry Slush, Petunia Pop, Berry Burst, Coastal Cabana, Lost Lagoon, and Pretty Peacock. And no, I did not have that written down somewhere. I did that all by guessing all the colours correctly. Yeah, I think good. But these are the colours in the washi tape. If you do want to know the colours and you can't remember or you don't want to watch this video again, then go on to the website, because that's how I did it. On the Stampin Up website, when you look at the washi tape, it tells you what colours are in it. So these are the colours. Right. I have a plan for a card that I'm going to make with these. So I'm going to make the first two cards, and then once I've done that, I'm going to do something else, which is a bit different. So stick with me. All right, starting off with my thick basic white, which I've already scored down the center for some reason. Don't ask me why. So I'm going to cut that at, so it's scored at 10.5 centimeters. I'm cutting at 14.8 to get my two card blanks. bone folder that across. These are just going to be standard C6 cards. And I'm going to do one in one colorway and the other one in the other colorway. So let's do this one first. And I'm going to get my, what color am I going to use, Emma? I'm going to use my Strawberry Slush, which is one of the new ink colors. And some of you may remember it was a previous ink color as well. It's one that we had a few years ago. For the other side, I'm going to use the Berry Burst. Am I going to use the Berry Burst or am I going to use Pretty Peacock? Do you know what? I'm going to put both of them to one side and you lot can give me some advice and guidance on which ones you think I should use. Or, here's an idea, I use both of them. But for this one, I'm definitely using Strawberry Slush. Right, let's get the greens out as well. Let's get the Old Olive that goes with it. And let's just pull the shade of Spruce out as well, just in case. So, my plan for the first card is to use a stamp set, which I should have brought down earlier, is to use this one, Encircled with Love. And as I'm thinking about it, I've had a brilliant idea. We're not going to use ink pads at all. We're going to use the pens. So, and now there's at least one person watching who's worked out what I'm going to do. And it's a toss-up between whether it's going to be Linda Dewar or Karen. I am going to do a little something for you. Do you know what? These could be the cards that I put in with my customer thank yous this month. I have been making up card packs, like little packs with card blanks and with just little bits and pieces to send out as customer thank yous. I've also got some team gifts to send out as well. That could be an idea too. And these could be cards that could go in there. Let's do this one to begin with. So this is my Strawberry Slush marker pen that I'm going to colour in the parcel. And I'm going to colour in the line and the for you as well at the bottom. Now, when you're using a brush marker, you want to use the side of the nib rather than the tip, because that gets you better coverage on your stamp. Then I'm going to use my Old Olive. General rule of thumb, if you're using multiple colours on the same stamp, is that you use the lightest colour first and then the darkest one. These are both much of a muchness. And I've just realised I forgot to do the line along here. It's all right, just do it again. Once you've painted directly onto your stamp, you're going to huff on it. Very technical term, that. And I'm going to stamp that onto the centre of my card. There we go. A little something for you. Let's clean off my stamp. My trusty Stampin' Scrub. You did a little squish beforehand. That's the thing with photopolymer stamps. These are brand new stamps that I've not used yet, but they're always going to end up with a little bit of ink on there. And it is usually pink or red. They end up going after a while. But that's okay. They have been used and loved. Let's get my dimensionals now. And I'm going to position these around my sentiment. I like to lay it out first before I start sticking things down, because then I don't worry about things being in the wrong place. Got lots of freedom and flexibility. That one's a bit long. I can use some of these inside the card as well if I choose. Let's use that little sprig there as well, like so. What do you think? You like that? Let's stick these down then. So I'm going to use dimensionals. I'm going to start with my big dimensionals. Colour the stamp with the markers. I knew you would get it, Linda. You're very clever that way. I'm using the large Stampin' Dimensionals for the larger flowers first. I'm putting that like at the top left and the bottom right. Then, do you know what? I could probably use large dimensionals for all of these. Maybe the tiny little one is going to need the small. I brought the little ones out. I should use them. Thanks, Karen. I do like it. That's the thing. When you've got products like these, they are just so easy to come together and to make something that is pretty, but easy and straightforward. So far, I know everybody who's watching has crafted before. If I haven't said hello to you, and if you are watching, whether it's on catch up or live, hello. Even if you've never crafted before, you could do this. This is not hard. All I have done so far is cut out these flowers from the washi tape with a die cut machine, and then stamped a sentiment in the centre. I did do it in 2 colours, but you could just as easily do it in 1. That would be just as pretty. And then use foam pads to stick these on. There we go. Need that little one there as well. Yeah. There we go. So that's using the washi tape, the Encircled with Love stamps in the centre, and actually, let's just put that little sprig down at the bottom, or inside. There we go. Let's put it inside. Let's use my trusty Tombow. You could also, actually, here's an idea. Stay with me. Envelope. Don't forget your envelope. So let's just maybe not the big one. Let's just stick that on the envelope at the back as well. There we go. So now we have a card decorated on the inside and then a decorated envelope to go with it. How about that? That was really easy. I like that. Okay, let's pop that one to one side and let's do something with the blue and purple version. So, see, I was just going to do the same again, but I'm thinking, how could I make it pop out. Right, here's what we're going to do. Let's get a basic white layer. So I'm going to take this to 14.3 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And that should give me a layer that fits on top of my card blank. I'm doing a white on white thing going on here. Next, we're going to get an embossing folder. So, let's get an embossing folder. Which one should I use? I think the birch wood embossing folder would go nicely with the flower motif. So this is a 3D embossing folder. So I need to make sure that I use the right sandwich. And how do I remember what the right sandwich is, Emma? I don't. I look at the plates and they tell me. So 3D embossing folders. No, do not use with embossing folders. Not that one. This one. Here we go. 3D embossing folders. Just the bottom plate and my grey plate on top. So there's my grey plate. There's my folder that goes in. My embossing folder plate on top. Crank it through. Let's pop that down to one side. And then let's have a look at this. It's quite nice. See the texture on that? I think that's very pretty. That goes on to my card blank. Now, what I was thinking of doing is, I still want to do a sentiment on there. So I thought I could get one of my dies out and I could die cut a hole in this layer and put the sentiment onto the card blank and then have the layer on top. But actually, there's a much easier way of doing this. Let's grab my circle punches. Now, I have a feeling, yeah, it's not the 2-inch. What have I got here? Is it the 2-inch that you're meant to use? Do you know what? 1 3/4. Perfect. Let's use the 1 3/4 punch. And I'm just going to stamp on here and then punch it out. Let's do it in Berry Burst and Pretty Peacock. And let's just use the same stamp as I used before. So, where my card went. There it is. Let's use the Berry Burst for my parcel. I was looking at a bit on the stamp thinking, I got a bit of fluff or something on it. It looks like there's a line, but it's the lid of the box. That explains a lot. I thought I'd coloured it wrong, but I haven't. It's all good. Really loving this colour combination. As you know, Pretty Peacock is one of my favourites, but Pretty Peacock and Berry Burst looking pretty impressive. I am liking this. So let's